Shalom. I think we good. All right. All right. Hey, Salaki for the sound or for the lagging. It looks like the area I'm in got poor service. So, hey, Salaki. All right. So, hey, once again, we out here. All right, coming week in and week out to prophesy the downfall and the destruction of this wicked kingdom known as America, aka Babylon the Great, according to the Holy Scriptures. Okay, we're out here to awaken and redeem the hopeful elect, which consists of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, according to the Holy Scripture. Okay, so hey, before we get started, we want to give our honor, praise, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that we will. Peace, blessing, and salutation to the Akim that are pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in all truth and sincerity. All right, Lord willing, this reaches the ears of the hopeful elect. Okay? So we're just gonna roll through the spirit, just see where it takes us. All right, Lord willing, this is a edifying camp session. All right, we're down here. I'm down here in downtown San Diego. All right. Just had the Padres game, so it's gonna be a lot of people out here. Starting the book of Jeremiah. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 28. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28 and 8. And it reads, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. Okay, and that's what the men of the Lord are doing, man. Before anything happens, the Lord will send his men out into the highways and hedges, okay, and give warning to the people by letting them know, hey, there's a war, okay, approaching, that there's a famine that's literally in the works, okay? There's a food shortage, okay? There's a food shortage, They even said, corn, okay, wheat, all the essential food items that most Americans or most Babylonians consume, okay? They even said that there was a butter shortage, man. Okay, and this is just the beginning of sorrows. These are just the beginning of things before it gets, far more worse, man. Because very soon, man, it's going to be a point where you can't have access to these grocery stores. Okay, you're not going to be able to have access to these grocery stores, let alone, even if you did have access, it's going to be limited supply, man. There's going to be a limited supply of food and of resources. All right, because think about it. Whenever, just look at what happened when the demic happened. Okay, what happened? All right, there was rumors that people were gonna need toilet paper, man. So what did they do? They went into these stores and bought up, tons of rolls of toilet paper, which was stupid, man, which was dumb. People over here fighting and killing each other over a roll of toilet paper, man. Let alone let it be some food. It's over for these people, man. Okay? It says both against many countries, against great kingdoms of war. All right, World War III. All right, World War III is actually in the process of right now, man. most of it is propaganda and on what you see on TV, on the news. Okay, they want to push the idea or the agenda of there's a draft going on in Russia, when in all actuality it was documents proving and showing that over 70,000 people willingly volunteered to go and fight for the Russians, man. You know, on top of the 300,000 troops that were already, considered active. All right, so in total, there's over 370,000 military troops in Russia. Okay, but they want to the social, or not social media, but the media in general want to push the ideology of people getting drafted. Okay, now that's not to say that that's not that didn't happen. Okay, but most of it is just it's a game, man. It's a mind game. It's to put fear into the people, man. They're fear mongers. All right. The one thing about the men of the Lord versus people of the world, man, those things don't fear us. Okay, because we know it's all a part of prophecy. These things are supposed to happen. Okay. Let me get the book of 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7. For the Most High have not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. The Lord didn't give us the spirit of fear, man. He didn't give us the spirit of fear to sitting back and watching these things and get fearful. Why? Because we trust and have the faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. You see? And in the same manner, we come in the same spirit of our ancient forefathers, man, of our forefathers. All right? Going back to, let's go back to the time of Judas Maccabees, man. Let me get that. Let me, through the spirit. Okay? Because fear is not in our nature, man. Okay? Fear is not in our nature. A healthy fear of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is all that we need, man. It's all that we fear. Anything outside of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man, we're not to fear. I want to get 1 Maccabees. Slovakia. This is you know what? Through the spirit, man, we just gonna start from the top, man. Because First Maccabees, I'm gonna just, I'm gonna get to the point, but I want to start from the top to get the full context of the story, man. All right, to the history, okay? Because you got a lot of new people who are coming into this truth, okay? Who needs the basics, man? Who need the milk, okay? This is First Maccabees chapter 3 and 1. Then his son Judas, called Maccabeus, rose up in his stead, and all his brethren helped him, and so did all they that held with his father, and they fought with cheerfulness the battle of Israel. So he gat his people great honor, and put on a breastplate as a giant, and girt his warlike harness about him, and he made battles, protecting the host of his sword. In his act he was like a lion, and like a lion's whelp roaring for his prey. Okay, just goes to show the spirit of Judah, man. It talks about that in Genesis. Genesis the 49th chapter, and it reads this is Genesis 49 and 8. It says, Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp from the prey. My son, thou art gone up. He stooped down and crouched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? Okay, which means Judah became, was in a docile spirit, man. For the longest. And it says, who shall rise them up? Okay, Yahweh Shai himself. Him sending the Comforter, the Holy Spirit, who's gonna rouse us up, man, and be as those fierce lions, as in the book of Maccabees, man. All right, so going back to 1 Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 5. For he pursued the wicked and sought them out and burnt up those that vexed his people. It says, wherefore the wicked shrunk for fear of him, and all the workers of iniquity were troubled, because salvation prospered in his hand. He grieved also many kings and made Jacob glad with his acts, and his memorial is blessed forever. Moreover, he went through the cities of Judah, destroying the ungodly out of them and turning away the wrath from Israel, so that he was renowned unto the utmost part of the earth. Okay, so hey, he was a renowned man, man. They knew him all over the earth, man. It says, so that he was renowned unto the utmost part of the world, and he received unto him such as were ready to perish. Okay, so he gathered, you know, he had people who were willing to join forces, okay, and who were willing to die, okay, alongside of him, man, you know, because they shared the same spirit, the spirit of the Lord, man, okay, having the faith of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Verse 10, then Apollonius gathered the Gentiles together and a great host out of Samaria to fight against Israel, which thing when Judas perceived, he went forth to meet him, and so he smote him and slew him. Many also fell down slain, but the rest fled. Wherefore Judas took their spoils, and Apollonius' sword also, and therewith he fought all his life long. All right, let me jump down. Let me get to the point. Okay. Verse 15, so he made him ready to go up there, and went with him a mighty host of the ungodly to help him, and to be avenged of the children of Israel. And when he came near the going up to Beth-horon, Judas went forth to meet him with a small company. Okay, Judas went up to them with a small company, man. You know, he didn't need a full army. Why? Because he trusted on the Lord, man. Okay, it says, verse 17, who, when they saw the host coming to meet them, said unto Judas, how shall we be able, being so few, to fight against so great a multitude and so strong? Okay, so they lacked faith. They lacked faith in you know, in the Lord, man. Okay, because ultimately they knew that the Lord was on Judas's side, man, fighting his battles. But then you had these Israelites, man, who were carnal, okay, who was you know, living in the flesh, okay, because they feared man, all right, not knowing that the Lord was gonna fight on their behalf. All right, verse 17 again, who, when they saw the host coming to meet them, he said unto Judas, how shall we be able, being so few, to fight against so great a multitude and so strong, seeing we are ready to faint with fasting all this day? Unto whom Judas answered, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of few, and with the Most High, with the power of heaven, it is all one to deliver a great multitude or a small company. Verse 19, for the victory of battle standeth not in the multitude of an host, but strength cometh from heaven. All right, so it doesn't matter based on how many people are with you, man. You know, like these other camps, these IUIC who, you know, who want to gather a multitude of people. All right, when all actuality, the scriptures talk about in Ezekiel the 11th chapter. Let me get that real quick. What's going on, brother? You got a question?
Yeah, no question. Always doubt, humans doubting God, but it's always the fact. That's why we got people like Putin in charge. People who doubt the word. It just is what it is, man.
They doubt the word?
Like
hey, come here.
Hey, no, it's already said in the Bible. Wide is the gate to destruction, narrow is the gate to salvation.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
All right, this is Ezekiel 11 and 16. Therefore say thus the Lord power, although I have cast them afar off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come. You know, a little sanctuary, a small sanctuary. Okay, in the same like manner, when Judas, okay, when the same message that he sent. Okay, it says the victory of the battle standeth not in the multitude of a host. Okay, because the Lord deals with you know, a small, you know, a little sanctuary. Okay. It says, "For the victory of battle standeth not in the multitude of an host, but strength cometh from heaven." All right, strength cometh from heaven, which means the Lord is going to fight on our behalf. The Lord is going to fight our battles. Okay, the Lord is a man of war. This is Exodus chapter 14 and 14. It says, "Yahweh shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace." Okay, the Lord is going to fight for us, man. We don't have to take matters into our own hands. Okay. Now, there will be a time, okay, when the Lord puts a spirit, you know, when he lifts that standard, when he lifts that standard.
And I'm gonna speak, and I don't care about it. But
What's up, bro?
you know, I'm sorry about that, because the reason I'm saying there is good for you that you're out here preaching the word.
Yeah.
Because you know what, very few are going to be saved. God already said that.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, no, very few.
Very few are going to be fucking saved. And that is just the fact of the matter. And so you are a harvester, getting those few together.
That's right. Hey, we're out here to gather the elect. You know, we're reaching out. You know, to the Lord is gonna bring the elect.
Dude, no,
We'll pound
come
it,
on,
we'll
man.
pound it,
Come
we'll
on,
pound
if you really believe, I'm not, dude. Dude, I've never even had the flu in my life.
Oh no, you good, man. You good.
But I'm gonna let you know something, man.
What's up?
It's fucking for real. What you're preaching is for real. And a lot of people don't realize. And I'm not sitting up here trying to clown you, dude. Like I said, that's why I had to come back. And it's like, it's just God's age. It's very few gonna be saved that really believe it.
Yeah.
Very few that really believe.
That's right. That's right. Y'all heard it. You see? Hey, who knows, man? You could the dude had, you know, he had alcohol on his breath. But hey, man, the Lord will send people. You know, you never know, man. You never know. Okay. Let's go back. Salaki, bear with me. I'm trying to get my other phone. Hey, see, that's why you gotta, you know, hey, you gotta be circumspect, man. All right, because the dude, he walked up pretty quick, man. You gotta be on guard, man. And that's one thing that's, the scriptures talk about, making your body a living sacrifice, man. Because anything could happen, man. All right, but we don't care, because we don't fear man. We don't fear anything, man. We willing to die for this thing, man. You know, and that's spiritual, man, because, you know, it said that in verse 9, so that he was renowned unto the utmost part of the earth, and he received unto him such as were ready to perish. Okay, and in like manner, the Lord is out there with a candlestick, okay, seeing who are willing to perish for his sake. Okay. You know, let me get something real quick, because this is what we're supposed to do. And the dude said, you know, everything that you're saying, everything that you're preaching, man, is right. It's true. You know, hey, the Lord sent him, man. You know, could have very well been an angel. Who knows, man? You know, we won't know until, you know, we're in those new bodies, man. You know, but hey, the Lord sends. He works in mysterious ways. You know what I mean? Let me get that in the book of Romans chapter 12 and 1. "I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service." Okay? Present your bodies a living sacrifice. All right? So, hey, it doesn't mean you're not making your body a living sacrifice, man, when you're behind a keyboard, okay? When you're behind a keyboard, all right? When you sitting at it, I mean, it's one thing to do lessons, okay, sit downs and things of that nature, but you have to be out there on the highways and hedges, man. You know, it's a law, it's a commandment to go out and teach, man. It says that they shall see thy teachers, man. You know, essentially that's what we're doing. We're out here reading the scriptures, bringing out prophecies, but we're teachers as well. That's why we have to study, okay, and be willing to give answer, okay, to anyone that comes up. Let me get that real quick. All right. This is 1 Peter chapter 3. I'll start at verse 14. "And who is he that will harm you if ye be followers that which is good? But if ye suffer for righteousness' sake, happy are ye, and be not afraid of their terror, neither be troubled." Oh wait, Salakia. Yep. It says, verse 15, but sanctify Yahweh power in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you a reason of the hope that is in you with meekness and fear. Okay? So, hey, man, we're teachers, but we got to be willing and ready to give answer for anyone who comes up, you know? Now, you got to be able to discern spirits. You got to be able to determine based off of their, you know, their spirit when they walk up, when they approach you, or how they look at you. But ultimately, you can, you know, the Lord gave us that spirit of discernment, okay? You know, some people are a little harder to read, but you got to test their spirit. All right, you simple things, you know, especially if you're not hitting the highways yet. You know, just getting built up through the spirit. You know, you can start off by asking them, you know, what is so-called Jesus, or what is the Lord? What color is he, man? You know, what does he look like? Okay, and if they have a problem with how he looks according to the scriptures, man, then you know, then right there, man, you know. Okay, their spirit is off. All right, verse 2 of Romans 12:2, and be not comforted to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. This is acceptable and a perfect will of Yahweh Shema Shai, because he wants us to do this, man. He wants us to go out and teach. He wants us to go and give warning, man. You know, he let me get that in 1 Peter. Okay, 1 Peter, or is it 2 Peter? Salakia. Yep, 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 9. Yahweh is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering toward us, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. Okay, and that's where to teach, man. You know, the Lord really has mercy on his people, man. You know, and really he wants all his people to repent. You know, and that's why we come out here. That's why we come out here. We openly rebuke, okay, letting people know their wrongs, okay, and according to the scriptures, you know, reading to them the law, statutes, and commandments, you know, taking it back to the basics, giving them that milk, okay, you know, because not everybody can receive, you know, you can't go too deep with these people, man. You can't get too deep, you know, going into, you know, deep prophecies, man. You know, dark sayings. They're not going to get it. Okay, you literally have to, you know, speak to these people like children. Okay, that's the only way they're gonna get it. All right, that's how we got it. You know, we didn't come into this thing knowing all the major prophecies. Okay, all the breakdowns, because some of it went over our head. But over time, through the Spirit, man, you get built up. You know, through reading, through studying to show thyself approved. You know. Let's go back to 1 Maccabees, the 3rd chapter, where I left off. 1 Maccabees chapter 3. 1 Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 19. For the victory of the battle standeth not in the multitude of an host, but strength cometh from heaven. Okay? Everything that we, in this coming out here, man, is a form of strength, man. You know? This coming out to the highways, you know, is a form of strength. Look at what with Jeremiah. You know, Jeremiah, when he was a young man, he didn't want to, but the Lord caused them rather, to do it, man. The Lord will make it to you. You can't avoid doing the will of Yahweh Shema Shai. You can't avoid doing the work, doing his will. He's going to always find a way to get you, man. You know, if you were ordained to be a prophet, he's going to get you to get out there and teach, man, because you're going to feel a tugging and a pulling at your heart. Let me get that in Jeremiah as well. Just as Jeremiah once felt. And Jeremiah chapter 20, I believe. Yep, 20 and verse 9 says, Then I said, I will not make mention of him, nor speak any more in his name, but his word was in mine heart, as a burning fire shut up in my bones. And I was weary with forbearing, and I could not stay. You see? So as much as he withheld himself from trying to go out and teach, okay, it was a burning passion inside of him to go out and do it, because he had a healthy level of fear a healthy amount of fear for the Lord, man. You see? Going back to Jeremiah, the 5th chapter. All right. So hey, if you're ordained to be a prophet, the Lord is gonna have it to where you're not gonna, you can't avoid it. You can't avoid but to go out and teach, man. What's up, man? All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5. Verse 4. Then the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Okay, so the Lord already had his men, already had his prophets, okay, from the foundation of the earth, man, being those first fruits, okay? The first, the first spirit ever created was Yahweh Shai himself, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, okay? The deliverer, which his name is Yahweh Shai. He was that first spirit that was created, and then the 144,000, okay, which consists of, the prophets, the teachers, okay? And there's a whole office, okay, that was founded from the beginning of the earth, man, at the foundation of the earth, you see? And Jeremiah being one of those prophets, Isaiah, Ezekiel, Amos, Obadiah, the list goes on, Job, okay? And those same men are in their lot today, man, pursuant to Daniel, the 12th chapter, okay? Verse 6, then said I, Lord power, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. It says, but Yahweh said unto me, say not, I am a child, for thou shalt go to all the nations that I shall send thee, and whatsoever I command thee, thou shalt speak. And we are also doing that in the same like manner, man, okay? Going out to all nations, all right? And how are we going out to all nations is by way of the unicorn, which is this here platform, YouTube, BitChute, Odyssey, so on and so forth, man. Okay, and the Lord had it to where, what's going on, brother? The Lord had it to where he was gonna, he created this for this sole purpose, man. Everything, we have access to literally everything in the world, man. The history, okay. If you want to learn a trade or a skill, man, you can go to the internet. Okay, learn how to sew, how to make garments for the women, for the aqua who subscribe and who believe in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai wholeheartedly, who are submissive, to their husbands. Okay, they're being able to make necklaces and bracelets and things of that nature. Okay. But the Lord, essentially, he created this here so that we can reach all nations. We may not physically be able to go throughout all these nations, but we can reach them by way of the internet. All right, we got some.
I hope you'll win this.
Hey.
Yeah, you should give us a shirt, address. I will.
These drunk Edomites. Drunk Edomites, man. All right, let's continue with the session with the scriptures. Okay. Always staring. They be so lost, confused. But deep down in their spirit, they know something's about to happen. Because the Lord will only send his prophets out there, okay, to give warning. In Amos, let me get that real quick. I'm gonna come back to, Lord willing, I come back to these, to the Maccabees and to Jeremiah, but I want to get this real quick. In the book of Amos. Amos chapter 3 and verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord have not done it? Surely the Lord power will do nothing but he revealeth his secret unto his servants the prophets. Okay? Look at this.
Yeah, you on that. We're leaving that.
And this is why you got to come out to the highways and hedges, man. You know? Everybody got to get this word, man. No matter what. You can't be scared, man. All right? But these people, man, they know something's up, man. Okay? Because the Lord, before he does anything, he's going to send his prophets. He's going to send his men out there to teach and bring this place down by way of his words, man. You know, thus saith the Lord. Okay? But going back to how the Lord created the internet for the sole purpose of reaching all nations, this is the book of, what's up, brother?
What you coming out of?
What's up?
What you mean out of?
King James.
King James?
Yeah,
About the Israelites?
yeah.
I figured that. But everybody ain't ready for that message.
Not everybody is.
You're preaching the truth though, but
Yeah. We're not out here for everybody though. We out here for the elect, you know what I mean? We do all things for the elect's sake. Feel me? And this is you know, we're here to pretty much give warning to our people. You know about it, don't you?
Yeah.
Who you listen to?
you know all this.
Like you heard about the Israelites. So who do you listen to, or where'd you get that
The word
from?
of God, where it first came from.
Of course, but
How
obviously,
Shane first came in Canaan, when he first looked at his father's nakedness. I don't need nobody else.
who was Canaan though? You know who?
Canaan was the son of Noah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, no, Canaan was the son of Ham.
The son of Ham,
Right. So Canaan looked upon his dad,
Yeah.
right?
No,
His
Ham looked upon his dad.
no. Ham is a progenitor of Canaan.
Right.
Okay. Ham is the
Son of Shem,
progenitor.
Japheth, yes.
Japheth, Shem, and Ham. Right. Now, when they went their ways,
He repeated the same behavior.
yeah. So when he looked upon his nakedness, he cursed.
He cursed us.
Yeah. Oh, Salakias, forgive me. Slip of the tongue. They are the sons of Noah. The sons of Noah.
Right.
And when Ham
Ham.
looked upon
Exactly.
Noah.
Was I right?
No, that was my fault. That was my
Was I
slip
right?
of the tongue.
Seeing letting you talk.
Yeah, slip of
You
the
gotta know
tongue.
what you preaching, brother.
No, I know what I'm preaching. I know what I'm
So
preaching.
they don't think it's hate.
No, it ain't hate. This ain't hate. So check it. When
Another time, brother.
why you leaving, man? See, look at that. You ain't teach me nothing. We gonna keep going though. This is the book of let's see. You see, that's what Jake like to do. They like to try to find you slipping, okay? But being simple-minded, okay? Made an honest mistake, slip of the tongue, and was corrected. You know what I mean? I corrected myself, okay? But you see, he get all boastful and wanna walk away and say, I'm the one. I'm teaching you. He ain't teach us nothing, you know? This is Salakia. Bear with me. Simple Jake, man. And then want to get boastful and proud, like he did something. But let that be a lesson, man. That's all he's gonna get. You know, that's all he's gonna get. He's gonna have to give an account for his encounter with a servant of the Lord. You know, a man who is out here trying to do the work in all righteousness and sincerity. Okay. This is the book of Matthew chapter 28 and 18. And Yahushua came and spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Okay, and how are we doing so? We're not doing it by in the form of water, physical water, but through the spiritual water, which is this word, which is this truth. It says, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you, and lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. Amen. Okay? So that's what we're to do. And the Lord had it to where this internet was created for the sole purpose of reaching all nations. Okay? And that simple as Jake, man, he's gonna get judged, man. You know? He's got judgment coming his way. All right? Walking around with blonde dreads, man. That's how you know he's bugged out. And he said he knew about being, you know, the Israelites. Okay, he wouldn't have just known that just by looking at you know, at the garment, or you know coming out of the Bible. He obviously had encountered or watched a video or a lesson of some sort, or whatever camp. More than likely, it was probably IUIC or HOI, one of them false prophet camps. Okay, you know, because he was over here rocking dreads, man. If he was really listening to the men of the Lord, he wouldn't have them dreads, and he'd have a face full of hair, man. You know, facial hair, having a beard on him. Okay. Yeah, Esau out here snapping pictures. Let me get that, man, because we gonna touch base. We gonna touch base on these false prophets. All right.
I know you're there.
We're going to touch base on these false prophets real quick. It's the book of Jeremiah chapter 23. Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 1. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord. Therefore thus saith the Lord power of Israel against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doing, saith the Lord. So the Lord is gonna judge a lot of these so-called pastors, man, these so-called preachers, all right, teaching a false doctrine, okay, a false ideology, all right, which in other words it's the wine, the Babylonian wine that Esau has pushed, okay, by way of slavery. What's going on, man?
Listen to what you're talking about.
You got a question?
No, what are
You heard about the I'm reading out of the Bible, man, the Holy Scriptures, King James. You ever heard about the Hebrew Israelites?
We the original Hebrews.
We are.
Black we're the tribe of from the original tribe. It's from we don't misquote it.
So I just want to just clarify something. So it's not all black people. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so there's different tribes. You have Southern Kingdom, okay, which consists of, you know, so-called Negroes, Haitians, Jamaicans, okay, and then you have the Northern Kingdom, which is like your so-called Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, you know, so even Native Americans, which is Gad, you know, Reuben, okay, those are your so-called Native Americans, and those people fall under the umbrella of Hebrew Israelites as well. So it's not all about, you know, skin color, you know what I mean? But it's also, you also have people that are in various countries, like for instance Ireland, you know, you got actual people in Israel, you know, you got people all over the face of the earth that may look like, you even got people in China that may look like the places where they live. They may look like the nation in which they've been scattered to, but in their spirit they're an Israelite, you know, because if you got a second?
I have a second. What interested me when I heard the conversation is the whole thing about Kanye that's going on right now when he was talking about, and it's ironic, you know, it's kind of ironic that you're actually talking about, and I heard that, and I looked at you, see what you're wearing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, this is a big topic right now. Let me see what this brother's talking about. Anyway,
Yeah.
my name is Michael.
Hey, I'm Kazak, man.
All right, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Michael.
Yeah. Oh, 4 stars. That's my singing name. I'm a singer and stuff. I'm just out running now. I got to run back to my car now.
Oh, okay.
And
But yeah, no,
I've never seen you. I've never seen you out here before. This is a strange. If there's nobody here, it's like.
Yeah, I mean,
guess-
you know, the scriptures talk about going into the highways and hedges, you know, the chief concourse of, you know, the place, you know, chief concourse, which is, you know, downtown. It's, normally, me and my brothers will be out in Mission Beach, you know, on the boardwalk. But
Mission Beach. I might have.
we usually go out there Wednesday nights. But today, you know, the Lord had it to where I come here. But it's ironic that you talk about the whole Kanye West thing because, you know, he's got a huge platform. He's now the richest black man, you know, in the world now, right? With $2 billion. So his status is up there, right? So now when he speaks, people will actually listen, you know. And the scriptures actually says something about that. but what he's speaking is you know, some of it is true, you know, but he's also speaking in code as well, because you know, if he were to say too much, it's going they're gonna condemn him, you know.
You don't think he's already said too much?
I mean, no, he's and that's a part of
going in, man.
Yeah. So I wanna read you something.
Okay.
I know you got to go.
No, I don't have to go. I was looking at my. I was just seeing if my phone was still on. I don't want to burn the battery out.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was doing.
Hold on. It's gonna bug me. It's pretty much talking about when hold on, let me see. Poor man. In other words, when a rich man speaks, people will listen, but when a poor man speaks, they disregard him. You know what I mean? Here it is. There it is. Here we go, right here.
Okay.
This is Ecclesiasticus. Also, this is in the Apocrypha. You know about the Apocrypha?
I'm not familiar. I've heard it before, but I don't know a whole lot of. That's like a translation or something. That's,
No. Actually, this is the original. So this is the original 1611 King James version, right? So
you got the Hebrew translation and all that stuff too.
No. It's not in Hebrew, but just kind of teach you. So like, this here book was removed out of the Holy Scriptures, during the Protestant era.
Right. So this is
Okay.
the original King James
Yes.
version. Okay,
Yes.
I've heard of it before.
So they took out 14 of the books, right, and just kept these.
The 66 books.
Right, exactly. So this here is what I'm going to be reading out of. Okay. Now, before it was removed, it was in here for over 270 years before it was removed.
Hey guys, what time is it?
And then all of a sudden, 740. Yeah. So it was in the original text for over when they started creating these books and stuff, you know, for over 270 years before they removed it.
Right.
So it's like, what gave them the right to remove certain scriptures out of the Bible? You know, they don't have that. You know, the scriptures talk about if any man remove or, you know, add to it, you know, they're going to get judged. You know, they're going to have to answer for that. But not to get too far veer off topic. So this is Ecclesiasticus, better known as Sirach in the Apocrypha. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 13 and 23. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, which means when a rich man speaks, everybody's going to sit and listen, you know, and not interrupt, you know, and he's got that platform, so people are like actually listening now. You know, people may think he's crazy, but he's the richest man and black man in the world. You know what I'm saying? So-called black man, right? It says, when a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look, when he saith, they extol it to the clouds, right? So they're lifting him up. But it says, but if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. You know, so I could be out here, and you're gonna have people walk right by. You know what I mean? But let it be someone, a so-called renowned man, you know, a man with great stature, you know, such as Kanye or something like that. It'll be a crowd of people, right? You know what I mean? So essentially, a lot of the stuff that he's speaking of is true, okay? But what it's gonna cause a great famine of the word, which means he's speaking too much. He's saying too much, you know, and they don't like that. They don't like the fact that, because the last thing they want us to do is to wake up to who we are as Hebrew Israelites, okay? You know, because for so long, without us knowing, they were able to overthrow us, you know, destroy us mentally, that mental slavery. But now we're waking up to who we are, and we're growing bold as a lion, you know, and standing on our own 2 feet by, you know, from the Heavenly Father, so to speak.
Right. Well,
Now I want to.
Ignorance is their. That's how they become successful, is by our ignorance.
Exactly.
We take everything we have and we just give it all to them.
Exactly.
Send their kids to college and
Point exactly, man.
them the real information. If they fall, they're there to pick them up, and they already have a structure set up to place them in it. And when they come out of school, they're not looking for jobs or looking for it's already established.
Exactly.
Situation.
Exactly. It's like that's a curse, man. It's a part of the curses that it says you shall go to your enemy for the want of all things. And because they've hid this knowledge from us for so long and kept us down here, the only solution that we had was to go to them.
Right.
Versus now that we know we're coming into a different time, man, now we're not going to the enemy. We're coming directly to the Lord. You know what I mean? But that's all a part of the curse, and there's an awakening happening, and Kanye is going to be a culprit of it. You know, this is a start of a wave. Right now it's trendy. You know, because you got other celebrities and rappers and be like, oh, I'm an Israelite, but they're not actually, you know, doing the will of the Lord. Okay, the Lord, you know, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Yahweh is the Heavenly Father's name, who the world ignorantly calls God. You know, they say Yahweh and all this other stuff. No, it's Yahweh. Going back to the Paleo Hebrew, the ancient Paleo Hebrew. Jesus, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, his name is Yahweh Shai, which means
because there's no J in 2016.
And it didn't come about to the 1600s.
In the 1600s.
Yeah.
There was no pronunciation of J.
Of a
That's
J.
like an English word or something.
Exactly. So his name is actually Yahweh Shai, which means the deliverer, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Yeah. So because we're talking about the whole, you know, them suppressing us as a people, and this is why. This is once again in the Apocrypha, Judith, chapter 5 and verse 17. It says, "And whilst they sinned not before their God, they prospered because the Most High that hateth iniquity was with them." So when we didn't sin and we came to the Lord, you know, for the want of all things, and we worshipped Him, you know, and we did what He commanded of us, we prospered and we did well, you know. But it says, verse 18, "But when they departed from the way of which He appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore, and were led captives into the land that was not theirs." Meaning, we were brought here. You know, that's part of the curse as well in Deuteronomy 28 chapter. You know, because we departed from the Lord, we were sent via slave ships, man, and we were brought here to be slaves. And now that we're still in slavery, but it's all a mental slavery. You know, it says, "And were led captives into the land that was not theirs, and the temple of their power was cast to this ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. But now are they returned to their power, and are come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate." And here's the point. "Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them." So if they can force it to where we can continue to sin against our God, they says, let that be their ruin, you know, let them destroy themselves, you know, because when you continuously sin, even in ignorance, you know, the Lord will remove his you know, he's going to turn his back against you, so to speak, you know what I mean? But it says, as we once did, you know, he turned his back against us, but now that we're coming back to him, you know, he's hearing us, he's hearing our cries, he's hearing our prayers. It says, "And let us go up, and we shall overcome them." This was all a strategy plan. This is a strategic move from the enemy. It even talks about that in Psalms the 83rd chapter. You know.
Well, let me ask you a question in terms of the Holy Quran. Where does that play a part in
So the
Christian King James?
The Quran.
Where does that play? Yeah, where does that play a part in Christianity? Because I know there are certain things. Some of the Old Testaments is talked about in the Quran. So how does it seems similar, but it's different?
I'm gonna ask you a simple question. You may not know it. A lot of people don't. But what does the Quran mean?
I don't know.
It means to recite. So when the quote unquote prophet Elijah Muhammad, right?
Yeah.
During the sub-Saharan slave trade, was when the Islam became like a religion that was pushed. Now, what he did was he went and went to where the Israelites dwelt and learned our culture, our history, our heritage. And what he did was he took certain attributes and certain things from our holy text and made it his own. You know what I mean? So all he did was just recite and change things up from the Holy Scriptures. Okay, so that's essentially where that connection is. Now, it's completely a false. You know, not
Right.
there's some
Not
things that they.
necessarily him though, but the ones in Mecca, like when they have, because he preaches a different type of Islam from the one that they preach, and it seems like they believe in everything except how did you say Christ's name again?
Oh, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh
Shai. Yeah, yeah.
Because I knew that I've been saying it wrong for a long time. Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh.
You know, I'm actually
Put
gonna
that in your
put- I'm
phone, man.
gonna put that in
Because
my-
listen, we're coming into we're coming into a really dark time, man. It's called Jacob's trouble. Okay, we're coming.
Yahweh Shai. That's how you pronounce Christ's name in its original, like
Yes.
That's
Yahweh.
Hebrew.
Yes. Yahweh means I am.
Yahweh means I am.
Yep. Or he exists.
Yahweh means I am,
Or he exists.
or he exists.
And then Yahweh Shai means the deliverer.
and Yahweh Shai means the deliverer.
Okay.
Thank
so
you for that. I appreciate it.
no, absolutely, because you're gonna need it. Because we're all gonna need it. Because we're coming into a time called Jacob's trouble. Okay, when it's gonna be complete, and that's why the Lord sent other men like myself to come out and teach, to give warning, wants to get the blood off of our hands and say that we did our job. You know what I mean? But he's
you
gonna.
seem like an amazing person with everything people are talking about. I don't mean to cut you off, but with everything young people are talking about right now, you know, and y'all young, 30, 40, that age, 50, still young, is what they're talking about is, I mean, you're out here like you're not pushing anything. You're not pushing something that's gonna hurt people. You're not pushing drugs. You're not pushing illicit behavior. You're just like out here like, that's amazing to me.
Yeah.
Because I don't see that in San Diego. I mean, you see it in other. I'm from Philly. I grew up in Philly, in New York.
Okay.
But
Okay.
you don't really see it. You see it in other places, but you don't see it like here. Maybe even Los Angeles, but you don't see it too much.
Yeah, I mean, we're all over the world, man. You got it actually started at in New York.
So you're part
One
of
West.
A,
You ever heard of?
where would I go to find you at on the internet?
Yeah, so you could find my channel, but you could also tap into the elders and apostles where I learned from, and I can give you all their channels as well. So here I'll you have YouTube.
Yeah.
If you go to YouTube,
If I can get it here now, let me see.
yeah. So this here is my channel. You could just type that name.
144. What does that say?
Kingdom Driven 144. So 144 are going to be the joint heirs and joint rulers with Yahweh Shai in the kingdom, the 144,000 men that it speaks of in Revelations, the 7th chapter, who are going to be delivered, right? You found it?
No, I'm going to record what you said.
Oh, okay.
What's it called?
So Kingdom Driven 144.
Kingdom Driven 144 on YouTube.
Yep. So if you can look up that one, another one you want to find is Apostles Live GMS.
Live GMS.
34th.
34.
Yep. So those are the apostles. They go out every week, and they same situation. But these are elders that have been in doing what I'm doing for 30 plus years.
And what is your guys? Do you have a special diet? Like you don't eat pork or you don't eat
Right.
Fast food. What do you actually eat? Because I see you guys. Y'all look so. When I see people, especially people such as yourself, your look is a clean. It's a clean look. And even though I eat healthy and I exercise and stuff, I'm still always trying to gain knowledge on what is the best diet, what's the best spiritual diet, food, physical I'm talking about, that complements your spiritual, which complements you also spiritually, so you're not putting poison
Absolutely.
into your body.
Now, the scriptures talk about in Ezekiel, I want to say 3 and 14, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, but it says that our bread, which means our food, will be defiled among the Gentiles, which means these other nations that where we've been scattered to. So the food that we consume is not all, it's all defiled. It's all trash. Essentially, we won't have real dense, nutritional dense food and good water until we're in the kingdom. Now, in this world, in this life, we have to make do with what we have, right? So the certain foods that we're supposed to eat, we have a strict dietary law, okay? Which if you go into the book of Leviticus, the 11th chapter.
Right, and I do have a Bible. I have a King James version, but I don't know if I don't have a.
You can go on Amazon and you can purchase one of these.
And that's
Apocrypha. Yep. Which in other words means hidden books.
Apocrypha, hidden books. Look that up.
Yep. So if you go in Leviticus, the 11th chapter, it literally says what beasts may be eaten, what fishes may be eaten, and it talks about what foods you can eat versus what foods you should not eat. You shall not eat.
Right.
Yeah. So we don't eat pork
across the board. I don't eat pork.
Yeah,
but
good.
I know it seems like in every religion or everybody says don't eat pork.
You know what pork? You know what a pig is made for, right?
It seems like it's made just to eat up the garbage or the filth.
That's it. That's their whole purpose.
Wow.
Not for us to consume that.
Wow.
And the scriptures talk about that. You know, crabs. They're supposed to clean the ocean.
Bottom feeders.
Yeah,
Crabs and
shrimp,
and
crab,
stuff like
lobster.
That.
They clean the water, the
We're not
ocean.
really supposed to eat those either.
No, so we're not supposed to eat shrimp, crab, lobster, pork. You know, certain birds. You know, rabbits we can't eat. But you know, like it talks about that in all of Leviticus the 11th chapter. You could even Google dietary laws. You know,
Dietary laws.
Yep, and it'll literally give you Yep, it'll literally give you a list, a picture diagram of what's lawful to eat and what's unlawful. So it's easier. I'm a visual learner. I like to see. So for me, initially, I had to Google it, and I see, okay, I can eat chicken. All right, I'm good there. You know, I can eat beef, or I can eat, you know, whatever. But I know not to eat this.
Lamb is
You know,
good, I guess.
Lamb. You know, that's a part of our heritage during the Passover. You know, you're supposed to cook a lamb and eat it. So that's something that we should eat. You know, that's a commandment. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, man, the list goes on, man. We could be out here all night. You know what I mean? But hey,
what I'm gonna do is, because I'm gonna meet somebody over here. I'm just going to get my car and meet him, but he should be there about now.
Okay.
But I've enjoyed the conversation. I'm definitely gonna look you up. I'm at a time in my life now where I'm just re-examining a lot of things, and you know, my daughter is 15. She's 15, and I'm doing my best to try to raise her the right way. And this world is trying to pull her into dark places, and it's like I need to do something to get her before I finally let her out, because I still have control of her. I still have hold of her right now, and she listens to me, but I can see the change. I can see the gradual. It's like the pool, and I'm like, man, I gotta. She's 15. This is my last effort. She's gonna be 18 in a couple more years. I won't. Once she's 18, she's really not gonna. Nothing I can do. I've tried to raise her right. So
I'm gonna
my
let you
wife is no help at all.
She is almost encouraged.
God, no help at all. She's actually from Kenya. I actually went to Kenya and got married. She brought her back.
Oh,
it was like that old Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. Don't bring him back. Don't bring him back.
I was like, I should have stayed over there. You know. But that's what I'm dealing with. So I'm going through a lot of. Normally I don't stop and talk. I'm in my own world, but I'm just going through such a transition. I just turned 54, and I'm going through so much mentally. Like I lost my mom a couple years ago, and it's just a lot of things are not making sense to me anymore. They make sense, they don't make sense. You know, and it's just every day I'm just. I've done a lot of things. You know, I do real estate, I do all kinds of other things, but it's not making sense because. I can do it, but how far is it going? What's the purpose behind it? Even if I was the best in the world, it's like it's not making sense anymore. It's not fulfilling.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm just getting to the point where, and I grew up kind of in the church here and there, you know, but it was different things. You grew up in this type of Pentecostal, then Church of God in Christ, then all, you know, then so many different things.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm just at a place now where I'm listening, I'm learning, and I'm being observant to really hear what's really going on now. I'm really like mentally like just trying to, you know,
tunnel vision, trying to narrow down and try to figure it out.
To feel the
truth,
the actual truth, not something that makes me feel good, not something that somebody else said, not something my family brought me up in. But what is the real truth, good, bad, and indifferent?
You know what?
I need to know.
It's crazy you say that because and this is I was right before you was about to walk off. I grabbed these 2 scriptures just for that sole reason, right?
Okay.
The first one is Proverbs 20 and 24. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? We don't have free will. Our lives are already written out. The fact that it was no coincidence that you were just walking by and that you see me out here speaking the truth, speaking the true doctrine of the Lord. You know, this is Psalms chapter 37 and verse 23. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. You see? So the Lord brought you here because he knows your heart, he knows your spirit, he knows our spirits better than we know ourselves.
Right.
So the fact that you were seeking answers, the Lord brought you over here and led you to him, you know? And I'm only sent, you know, I'm a man just like you. The only thing is that the Lord bestowed upon me, you know, this blessing, this gift, and I'm just trying to share it to those like brothers like you who walk by and who genuinely want to seek answers. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I definitely do, because I was just walking, I was thinking about some things, and I was thinking that I'm becoming desensitized to, up until my mom passed,
Yeah.
I couldn't think of ever hurting anybody.
Yeah.
After my mom passed, I kind of got desensitized to if I had to hurt somebody, if I had to go to war. Like, it's like now it's beginning to be to the point where I don't care, and I don't want that to happen. I don't want to feel that way.
Yeah.
I don't want to, and I don't know what happened when I lost my mom. It seemed like just because she was my world, so it's like so much has changed, and it's just things are just the answer. I just need answers. It seems like she had a lot of answers, and it seems like the things that I had as my foundation seem to have been uprooted. It seems to like
it was stripped from you.
Sense. It
Like,
seems like so like all the mean people, it seems that's being mean, and the things they're doing, and Putin and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, well, he doesn't care. Why does he not care? Is he doesn't care because if he doesn't care, there's nothing going to happen to him anyway, so why care? You know, it's like all these, and I know that's not true, but it's like these are the things that starting to get in my head, and I don't want to think like that. I don't want to believe. I always want to be compassionate and kind, and I always want to continue along that path.
Yeah.
But I noticed even when I was walking up there, somebody jumped out of the shadows, and I was like almost ready to like death in my heart. It's like, wait a minute, that's not me. Like, what's going on? I don't want to. That's like an overreaction of something that's not even there. So what's going on? Is it the anger that I lost my mom, or what's going on? And that's what I'm trying to figure out.
So the scriptures in Ecclesiastes 7:7, it says, oppression maketh a wise man mad. You know, so the things that we have to put up with and deal with, you know, over time and over the years, man, it's almost like you said, become desensitized, become numb. But you gotta once again the Lord talks about, you know, pretty much don't lay up vengeance on yourself, like or pretty much don't take matters into your own hands.
Right.
The vengeance is of the Lord. You know what I mean? Now, we all got hatred in us. You know, I hate our enemies. You know, for the what they pushed and what they caused our people to become, savages, animals, people killing each other. You know, getting shot up, getting another man lusting and coveting after wanting your woman. You know, that's all wicked.
And
you know,
after each other.
Even after each other.
And I had to keep telling my daughter. My daughter was like, I said, no, there's two genders. There's male and there's female.
Yeah.
I mean, people can make choices to do whatever they want to do, but science, God, it doesn't lie. I mean, it is what it is. You have there's up, there's down, there's left, there's right, there's black, there's white, there's male, there's female.
Yeah.
There is no whole bunch of stuff in between.
Right,
That's
right.
my opinion, and I have a right to my opinion.
No, you're absolutely right.
Regardless of what anybody or anything says out here today, people can do big choices, but my opinion is this is the foundation. If we lose the foundation of what has been laid down, then it's nothing but total confusion, chaos.
You know, it's crazy because I want to get something, because a lot of the stuff you're speaking, man, it's all scriptural, man. This is Psalms chapter 82. Psalms chapter 82 and verse 5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. So it's like the world is flipped inside out, upside down. Everything that the enemy has pushed, which is Esau, Edom, which biblical nationality of which are the so-called white man today.
What, Esau, Edom? That's
Esau.
what that means?
Esau.
Esau.
He's the progenitor of the so-called white race.
Okay.
And that's who's in power. That's who's in leadership. Who's running. Who's orchestrating the world. And through their philosophies and what they push in deception, they've caused our people to err and to go contrary to what the Lord wants us to do. That's why it says that the whole foundations of the earth are out of course. Job 9:24, it says, Job chapter 9 and verse 24, it says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who's in power right now? Esau, which are the Edomites.
So could Putin, like,
He's an
he
Edomite.
can't destroy the world if he wants, only if
He
the
only if
Creator allows him. Because when
That's
they
right.
talk about, I'm gonna
Yeah.
do this and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, I'm like, but wait a minute.
no.
You didn't create this world. You think something to let you just destroy it? I mean, a strong man's not even gonna let another man come into his house and destroy his house.
That's
just
right.
because another man wants to. So how are you gonna destroy all of this?
Yeah.
And you don't even know where the Creator is at. Like, you can't even.
Yeah.
He knows what you're gonna do before you do it. So
Yeah.
how you gonna do it?
All things are sanctioned by the Lord. So although he wants to, although he wants to, he can't do nothing without the Lord ordaining it. You know? But however, this place is going to be destroyed by way of thermonuclear destruction. It talks about that.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
No,
You think so.
Babylon, which is America. America is going to be
Nuclear-
destroyed.
Nuclear war, fire.
Nuclear war. Can I read you another scripture?
Yeah.
I know you got to go,
Can you
man,
read
but
one more? Yeah. No, this is good. This is good stuff. This is it's very interesting. Very interesting.
yeah. So this is you know what? I want to give you you ever seen Terminator?
Yeah.
You remember the one where I forget which one it was, but when she was like dreaming and she was holding on to the fence
Right.
and
Right. And it stuff start burning up and everything. Yeah.
You know, it's funny because they will put it in hide it in plain sight. They'll put it in a movie, and for the average Jake, which is an Israelite, that for the average person, it just goes right over their head. They think it's fiction. You know, it's just a fairy tale story. You know, but a lot of the stuff that they hide, they put it in movies,
In plain sight. Huh?
hidden in plain sight.
I've heard that why do they put stuff in plain sight? Because of those who have an ear can hear, or those who have eyes can see,
That's right.
and everybody else who just.
Yes,
That's
you're
kinda
exactly
like
right.
what's going on now? Like what we were just talking about, the gender thing. Like, it's obvious. Like it's obvious. Like if a man dresses up like a woman, you know, back in the day somebody would do that. It would be like a joke. They'd be laughing, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
You know, there's old movies and stuff. But now it's like it's accepted as that's real, and it's like, no, it's not real. Like that's not. You may have 10% female or whatever in you, and she may have, you know, but that's because that percentage is, I guess, to draw the other person, to make you complete, to make you 100. So the woman has 90-10, you have 90-10. That male 10% is to make you complete with her, and your 10 is to make her complete with you. That's the way I think. I mean, I might be off with the numbers, I might not be right.
I get what you're saying.
No, but you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, am I making sense?
You are. Now, according to the scriptures, the woman was created for the man. If you go into the word of woman, it means a servant, a female servant. You know?
Right.
So, Eve was created for Adam, right? Eve was to be a helpmeet, to be a helper. You know, so ultimately the woman is supposed to serve you. You know, your wife is supposed to serve you. The woman is supposed to serve the man.
I wish you could hear that.
No, I mean, of course, the women in today's society will not adhere to that because they've been brainwashed and it's over time. Think about it. The woman today is not like your traditional woman 50, 60 years ago. It's not. Because the internet has corrupted and filled
They've been
day.
So they've been brainwashed. Well, people have taken advantage also. A man who was in that great position, who she did serve, he just treated her really bad and made it really hard for, I guess, maybe good women who would want to be like that.
No, yeah.
And, you know.
And that happens. That's the unfortunate circumstance because you have some women who actually want. What did he just say? He said the Israelites. He said something.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
I don't know, it sounded like something like that.
Yeah. He looked like it. he looked like an Edomite, but he's across the street. He said something about the Israelites. Hey, they know, man. They know. I just got my channel. People, tuning in, listening. Yeah.
Are you on live?
Yeah. We're live right now.
Oh, am I on it too?
I mean, you can. You don't have to. This is the brother that I've been talking to. But yeah. It's unfortunate, but this is the state. This is the condition of our people. You know what I'm saying? And but that's all gonna go away with. That's all gonna be done with in the kingdom. Okay, when Yahweh Shai comes back and he comes in and takes over essentially. Before I know I said before you go, but man, it says in Proverbs 29:2, it says when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So people, we're mourning. We're mourning because of the condition of our people. Our women are in subjection unto us. They don't want to listen. They want to rebel. Our children are getting fed poison in school and in society that cause them to go astray from the Lord. So for us as men, we're mourning because we want righteousness. We want things to be in righteousness. But when it says, but when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, and righteousness won't dwell here on the earth until Yahweh Shai himself comes in and reestablishes everything. The only thing we're trying to do is we're bringing it back. We're rehearsing the righteous acts. We're coming. So we do this for the sole reason, for the sole purpose of being delivered from the nuclear destruction by way of ICBM missiles that Putin has been talking about. That freaking, what's his name? North Korea, Iran, China, all these different places talking about nukes. It's nuclear war.
Around like it's candy,
like it's nothing.
Come on,
now
talk about destroying the world.
Now, why? My question is, why create something without having the intent to ever use it?
Right.
What's the purpose of it? If you created it, what really is the Lord? It talks about that in Isaiah 54:16. The Lord had it to where these were created for the sole purpose of this place being destroyed, because it's prophesied. It's already written. It's already written about that this place is going to be burnt up. This is Malachi chapter 4 and verse 1. It says, "For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud,
How did they know that way back then? How you going to burn the whole thing as an oven? Only nuclear bombs can do that.
Man, and that's funny because Isaiah 9:5 it says, let me just put this down because I'm struggling trying to. Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5. And it says, now how, you said you was right. So how did they know about anything like burning up a world or nuclear fire, so to speak? You know what I mean? Back in the ancient.
Right. That only came about in the 40s and 50s. We're talking about thousands of years.
Exactly. This is Isaiah 9:5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. So back in the day, they used to, with the swords, clink, arrows, fight like that. It says, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. He's talking about the destruction of this place that Isaiah, over 3,000 years ago, was talking about. He was prophesying about what's to come here today or soon. John the Revelator in the book of Revelation, he also prophesied about the burning and the destruction of this place. That was 2,000 years ago, on the island of Patmos when he was exiled to a whole other island where he was sent off to go and die, right? Reading this again, it says, "For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and that day that cometh shall burn them up. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch." It talks about that this exact same prophecy Peter also talked about in 2 Peter 3 and 10. Zechariah chapter 12 and 14, I think, or 14 and 12 is one of those, where it talks, that imagery of her holding onto the fence and then her mouth, she burning up. That's depicted in the scriptures, in the book of Zechariah. So Zechariah, since I'm here already, Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 12. And this shall the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. And Jerusalem is a people before it was a place. So it's really talking about the nation as a whole. It says, their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouths. That's how hot it's going to burn. That's how hot this thermonuclear destruction is going to be. What other device or what other thing do you know that can melt an element?
I mean, an asteroid, but that doesn't. That's kind of different.
Let me read this to you. It says, 2 Peter 3:10, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, and which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. So it's got to be something so hot that it literally melts an element. So
like the Hiroshima and Nagasaki, when they said people were burned and just the shadows were left.
Oh, that was a firecracker compared to what's really about to come. That's really about to take place here in Babylon.
This is Babylon.
This is Babylon. America is Babylon.
Yeah, because America's a blessed nation. Like
yes.
The way where it's located, all the things that's here, the foundation of where it was originally set up. I guess the so-called founding fathers, the way they set it up based on. Did they set it up based on the Hebrew King James Hebrew version, or did they set it up? Do you know how it was set up? Because it seems that America is blessed in ways that is different from other places. Even though I know people take advantage of it, capitalism in a way that hurts a lot of people, but there's something about America that's not like other places. There's a blanket of certain of blessings, like as far as the richness of just the elements, the water, the minerals. There's a lot of stuff here, and Africa too. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. Africa has a lot of mineral wealth and stuff like that too. Yeah. Even the stuff they're putting in computers now, they want to get that. I think it's in what is that country? Somewhere in Africa where the way they're making the computers and the cell phones, the minerals, that's why they wanted to get rid of Gaddafi, I heard, because he was going to bring all the African nations together, and they wanted to keep them split up. And I think Obama actually, they said, had something to do with it. He wanted to keep them split. They want to keep them split so they could grab those mineral rights, because that's the next wave of what they need. It's not really just gold anymore. It's the minerals that they use to make the chips or whatever that goes in the computers.
Yep. A lot of that, great wars are started over just for the sake of greed, poppy seeds in Afghanistan. That whole I'm not going to say it because for the sake of the stream. No, you're good.
Because you got algorithms, man. They're
exactly.
They will trace what was track us.
The September and the number after 10. I'll just say it like that.
Right.
Okay, that whole thing was an inside job for the start of what they were trying to get. They were trying to go over there and take that, take those stuff.
Oils and
stuff. So it's and in order to bring in money, because whenever there's an economic collapse or a crash, the only way to regain or reestablish itself is through war. And now you see the economy, you see it where it's at right now. It's drastically falling. And so they're trying to promote this war here, which is really World War III. That the scriptures talk about that in Revelation, the 11th chapter. I believe it's the 11th chapter. It says the second woe is past and the third woe come quickly. Woe means destruction. Now let me ask you this: and I asked another lady yesterday.
Woe means destruction.
Woe means destruction.
I just put that in a song. Whoa. That was I didn't know that meant destruction.
Yeah, it means destruction, and I can show you. It's WOE.
Oh my goodness.
Hey.
That is that, but it's appropriate for what you're
singing.
What I was singing, because I don't smoke anything, right? But I made a song about weed, but what it can do to you. Yeah. It starts out like people think they're having fun, but then as you get deeper into it, you're like, wait a minute, this is not talking about having fun. It's talking about, because it said, there's a part in there where I said, I'm going to go insane, forgot my name. And so when they get deeper into the song, it's like, this is not fun anymore. I thought I started out about, smoking spliffs and getting high. And by the time I'm getting halfway through the song, it's like, I'm going insane, I'm losing my... And then they said, whoa, the beat changes. But I didn't even know that's what that meant. Destruction.
Yeah. When a lot of this translation, King James, you know how like William Shakespeare, you know, they
Yeah.
thee, you know, thou, art, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
When he would write his poems or write his speak or his plays, it was when he would reference woe, it would mean destruction or decay or ruin.
Right.
So, and he got that from essentially the scriptures.
Right.
So the when it talks about woe, it means destruction or ruin. So it says the second woe passed, and second woe passed, and then the third woe was coming quickly, which means the third world war. And the question I wanted to ask you, if something was just so catastrophic that everybody on the planet knows about, it's in history, why wouldn't it be biblical, right? So something such as the transatlantic slave trade. You know, when we were brought here to be slaves under subjection under our enemies for turning from the Lord, that's biblical. These major wars, world war, where essentially every nation on the planet was fighting against each other.
Right.
That's biblical.
World War II.
You ever heard of the term biblical proportions?
Yeah.
That's because it's all in the scriptures.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
Yeah,
Biblical
so
proportions. It's like prophesied or something.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
like,
It's already prophesied. Exactly. You know, but the next world war that's going to take place is, and it could very well happen next year. That's why it's time to repent, because our redemption, the Lord, He's coming soon. Now you hear a lot of sightings of like so-called UFOs and things like that. You know that's even talked about in Ezekiel, the 1st chapter. Also in Zechariah, the 5th chapter. You know, the chariots. They're referenced as the chariots of the Lord. So those aren't little, little green men with big heads and bulby eyes. No, those are angels in the chariots that the scriptures talk about. And when the third world war is happening, when all these nations are going to be fighting against each other, there's going to be, and it talks about this in the Apocrypha, that the Lord, He's going to come on his chariot, and they're going to fight. They're going to try to fight against the Lord Himself, and they're going to get wiped out bad. That's the way that the Lord is going to come back and make His presence known. He's going to come down off. He's going to come down in the same way He went up, as it talks about in Acts, the 1st chapter. He was when He ascended into heaven. He was beamed up by a chariot of the Lord, of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And then the same way He ascended is the same way He's going to return, and He's going to fuck this place up. Excuse my French, but he's really going to mess this place up.
Right.
And when
Not
He
a
comes,
curse word, depending on how you use it.
Yeah. No, I mean,
information terms. I get it.
Yeah. It's
Fuck the place up.
yes, figure of speech.
I got you.
Curse and curse words really. It's not even. It's just a word.
It's just a word. It's
Yeah.
your intention.
Yeah, curse.
It's your intention and how you use it. If you say F and then you point a gun and shoot somebody, your intention is different than just
Right.
like what we're talking about.
And really a curse, according to the scripture, is you actually putting a curse on somebody, something spiritual, and something essentially bad happens to that person. That's the difference.
Yeah, that's the difference.
But what I want you to leave here with is knowing that this place is going to be destroyed. 2, the names of the Lord, of the Most High and His Son, which are, remember what the names were? I'm testing you right now.
Because I keep getting Yahshua in my, but I know that's not it. It's
Yeah.
Yahweh.
You're close. Yahweh, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh and Yahweh Shai.
Yep. So when you pray, and when you pray, you call on those names.
Yahweh, Yahweh Shai.
That's right. And Yahweh, Baha Shem, Baha means in the, Shem means name. So when I say Yahweh, Baha Shem, Yahweh Shai, that means the Heavenly Father in the name of,
That sounds like Arabic. Well, that's Hebrew.
That's Hebrew. That's the Lashwan Kadash, which means the holy language.
I want to learn Hebrew. I want to get a Hebrew translation, and I want to learn Hebrew and I want to learn Arabic. Those are the 2 languages.
You can look up, you can go on Google and type in, there's literally like a list of words that is being translated. So you can type in Paleo Hebrew words.
Hebrew words.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then if you scroll through, It's like they made it to where it's you know it's easily to read, you know,
Yeah.
it's colorful, you know, things like that. But you can look up this and you can learn a lot from it, you know. You learn the names, you know, you learn, you know, certain words, but it's very informative, you know. Good stuff, good stuff.
Okay.
But yes,
I'm
Yahweh
gonna
what?
check it out.
Yahweh and Yahweh Shai.
I'll give you my number too, man. If we need to talk.
Yeah. Go ahead. You can
Call
well,
you, whatever. Or you just want, is that how you want to do it? Whatever you want to do.
yeah. In fact, you got me on YouTube.
Yeah.
Just
I'll check
you
it.
could
I'll
you
just
could
send you an email or whatever.
yeah, you can come onto the comment board, shoot me your email or you know something, and then we'll go from there.
You guys have physical location, or you guys y'all just go out to?
So our headquarters is what we you know the headquarters we call it the battlefield, but we usually go up to Mission Beach, right by Cannonball, the sushi joint.
Yeah.
We're usually posted up right there on Wednesdays, sometimes even Sundays, but majority of the time you're gonna find us Wednesdays around 7:30, or you'll see me here. I might bring another brother or two, and you know we'll come out here. But we're either gonna Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, one of them days we're gonna be out here.
Cool. Well, nice to meet you again.
Like Michael, right?
Yeah, and I want to ask you one more question.
For sure.
Because my entertainment name is four stars, and it's something I made up. Does that mean anything to you? 4 stars?
4 stars.
Does that have any?
Any significance? No, but the number 4
Yes.
is because the Most High he numbers have meaning. 1 meaning wisdom, 2 knowledge, 3 understanding, 4 wisdom.
44
Take it back. Sorry, wisdom already said. Mercy.
44 is my favorite number.
4 is mercy.
44 is my favorite number, and I had something happen to me that was when my mom was alive. We had this long conversation on the phone.
Uh-huh.
That's
Oh no, you good. I was just checking the time.
I don't know if I'm doing this recording.
No, you good.
We was and I've told very few people about this. I was on the phone one day with my mom, and we talked for about an hour. This was when I was 44 years old. And I said, Mom, I looked at my phone. I said, and this is such a coincidence. I said, I'm 44. I said, I have 44 songs, 44 contacts. Obama's the 44th president. Mayweather's the 44th. He won 44 fights.
Yeah, okay.
And I said, wow, isn't that a crazy coincidence? And I said, wait a minute, my mailbox is 4. And on, it was some other things too. On my foot, it was just 40. And I was like, what does this mean? And we talked about it, and they said, well, 444, you know, something about the angels or something about angels.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, no. I know what you're talking about, but yeah. Go ahead.
So, but anyway, because I've always liked that number anyway. So to fast forward, she passes away, and I can't explain it. I don't know what it means. I'm not saying it means anything, but all I know is it happened, and I'm not the only one that witnessed it happen. When she passed away, I noticed that at the time was, well, she didn't pass away at 4:44, but I noticed that day when I looked at the clock, it was 4:44. And then my sister called me, and I had told her, and then she had called me also at 4:44. So, but before I get into that, when I was gonna leave, I had a skinhead living on my property, and I didn't get home in time because my mom was in the hospital, so I didn't get there in time to see her pass. I was talking to her on the phone. By the time I got there, she was in a coma, and it was because the skinhead had blocked me from going because I was trying to get his trailer off of my property. So
Damn Esau.
It cost me an extra week.
Yeah.
So after she passed, I had told this guy, I said that I was going to come back here and I was going to do this thing. It was a plan that was unshakable, and I could not stop it. Like, this was going to happen. I didn't care about my family. This was going to happen because I had stayed there and watched my mom for a week pass away in the hospital. They didn't feed her for a week. She just, and so that had such a change effect on me, even to this very moment. But I was in the car with my friend that night. We was driving around all night. It was 4:44, and then I went to the gas station. I started thinking about my mom. I was like, wow, it's 4:44. I went to the gas station, put my car in the gas, took it out. It stopped at 44. Then, like a few other things like that had happened. I I was behind this bus, and I was trying to get away from this bus. I couldn't get. He kept standing, and it was a 4 in front of me. We went to the store, and they had the Toy Story thing, which was 44 or something on it. And then I said, "What aisle can I buy this?" And the lady said number 4, and I said, "Okay, wait, what's going on? What's going on?" And then I thought about that conversation that I had back with my mom. But it was like a dozen other things that night. That between that time, it wouldn't stop happening. And I thought, my friend said, "Well, maybe your plan to go get rid of that skinhead, maybe your mom, it's your mom, like saying, don't do that. Like, don't remember who you are. Remember that." It was just maybe it's just a reference. I'm not saying it really means it to, but that conversation with him changed my direction of what I was going to do when I came back here. And then he actually had came to my house looking for some mail like 9 months or so later. He never came back again, and said some things to me, and I just laughed and said, "Get off of my property." And I thought to myself, you don't know how close he came. If that did not happen, we would have never left this property, never again.
He had no idea.
He had zero idea.
Yeah.
But I don't, all I know is that happened. And all the pictures he was taking on that day, even at the funeral, every picture, I took a lot of pictures, they were at 444. Even me and my nephew was at 4444.
You know what that
That's
is.
just a strange coincidence. So what is that?
There's no such thing as a coincidence.
Uh-huh.
No such thing. 4 is mercy. That's the Lord showing you His mercy towards you.
Right.
That's what the number 4 is. Essentially, that's all it is.
Okay.
It's mercy. But the fact that you saw it time and time again, that's the Lord. It wasn't your mom speaking to your spirit. It wasn't your mom. When we die, when we go, our spirit goes, and we, when they go to the spirit world, they have no say, no touch, no nothing. It's all the Lord. The Lord was speaking to you and maybe that could have been a form of mercy. The fact that if you would have taken matters into your own hands, who knows where you could be? You could be locked up. You could be dead.
Right.
What if that guy had a gun on him? You could have been up in the spirit world too. You know what I'm saying? That could have been a form of mercy in a sense. The fact that you withheld yourself and you didn't act upon, you didn't get carnal with this man,
Right.
And that was the Lord showing you that, and through the Spirit right now speaking it out. I believe that's what it was.
Okay.
And one, just to reassure you and bring you comfort, because through the words we have comfort, right? This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and 1. But the souls of the righteous are in the hands of the Most High, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery. So for people, most people think about when someone goes and when they die, when they go to the spirit world, they're just going to sleep. Our spirits are renewed, are recycled. Every 3 to 4 generations, when we die, we come right back. We come back in a new flesh, in a new body. When we go to the spirit world, we're resting. We're resting.
Why would we need to come back if God is not limited and He can make unlimited people as many times as He wants?
He could. But that's I mean.
Oh, I guess like everything is recycled. I guess like a lot of things is that what is. I never thought of a spirit being recycled. That's like never crossed my mind.
So the once again the prophets that we read about in the scripture, it says in Daniel, the 12th chapter in the last verse, it says go and do fill your lot, but you're gonna come back in the end, meaning the prophets that we read about are back here today. We don't know who we are. I don't know if I could be somebody, I may not, we don't know. But
Is it like another chance to get it right or something? Or what is
we're living out our punishment. We're reliving out our punishment. Now all nations come back. They go, they die, they come back. The only thing, or the only like animals, for instance, they don't go to the spirit world. When they die, they just get put right back in another body. Like say you have a dog and it passes. It doesn't go to the spirit world. It goes from his spirit goes from that dog just to another reborn, a born one. You know what I mean? That's how that works. But it talks about in Ecclesiastes, I want to say the 12th chapter, I believe. We're pretty much our spirits. When we die, we go to the spirit world and we dwell there for a little while, and then we just come right back. But we have no remembrance of our previous lives. You know, that's called reincarnation or regeneration.
I've heard it, but I didn't think that
Yahweh and Yahweh Shai.
Believed in that or talked
Oh
about
no, it was taught. It talks about that in the scriptures. Now I don't want to.
Okay.
I want to get to
Right,
this
right, right.
because
Right.
I don't want to get
Too
too off track.
I got you.
Now if you go and follow and listen to a lot of the, you could just type it. If you have a question, if you have any question pertaining to the scripture, you just type in the question, and then type in GMS. And more than likely, a brother who subscribes to this truth has a lesson tied to that subject.
Cool.
All right. So it says in the sight of the unwise.
This is deep.
It says, in the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery, and they're going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace. And you have to remember that. Your mom, she's straight. If anything, she's mourning for the sake of you still being here, still having to live under this. You know, because when we go into the spirit world, we're in our right minds. When we go to the spirit world, we know these things. It's in us. It's embedded in us. You know what I mean? We know these things. We'll all be put in our right minds. If anything, she's mourning and grieving for you and the people who she loved for still having to be in subjection under our enemies, and suffer punishment. You know what I mean? You know. But it says, for though they be punished in the sight of men, and yet is their hope full of immortality, and having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. But the Most High proved them and found them worthy for Himself. You see, so he found her worthy for Himself to bring her back home. You know what I mean? Now, ultimately, was it old age when she passed?
Yeah, she could no longer, her kidneys couldn't process anything. She didn't want to do dialysis.
Understood.
And then my father, he had passed when I was 16. So now it's like there's nobody. I am the man. I'm the parent now.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing.
It's a heavy weight that you got to carry.
Like, it's like I'm my own parent now. Like I am the one who has to know what to do, and I don't always know.
The scriptures talk about cast your burdens unto the Lord. You know, so though you may feel like you got the world on your back, you really don't. Once you call upon those names and you give your heart to Yahweh Shai, he's gonna bring you that comfort. You know what I mean? That burden that you feel is on you is gonna be lifted, man. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta just remember that. Just remember that. This is there's power in that name. There's power in that name. You know what I mean? And
so there's no power in the name of Jesus.
No.
Even the intention in your heart, if you don't know how to pronounce it,
let me get you a scriptures. This is the book of Acts, chapter.
Because I know they talk about the apostolic church always says about the name of Jesus, but they say, but I don't want to say it if I'm not saying it right. Yahweh Shai.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, because think about it. Your name is Michael, right?
Right.
If I say I saw you in the street and you was walking, I was trying to get your attention. I was calling, "Hey Chris, hey John." You ain't gonna turn around. You may be looking like, who the hell is calling me? Who is he trying to get in contact with? But if I call Michael, then you're gonna be like, oh, he's talking to me. And it's more intensified when it comes to the Lord, man. He don't want you calling him a false God name. You know, because that name Jesus is associated with a white, blue-eyed, stringy-haired man, you know, that was a sodomite, which is a homosexual.
Right.
You know what I mean? That name is tied to that. You know, so when you call on that, that's who you're calling on a false god. In Exodus, one of the last commandments that was written on stone was to not worship or serve any other gods. You know. Let me get this real quick. In the book of Acts.
So in the original Hebrew translation, his name is pronounced correctly.
In the well, that's the thing. So in these books, because they don't want the name. They don't want us to have the name. They don't want that because once again, there's power in that name. And the best way to keep us down and keep their foot on our necks is to withhold that information. The so-called elite of the world, the Pope, you know, the elites of the world, the Rothschilds, the banking families, they know the scriptures.
They know the real name. And
They know the real names.
they're the ones that put this book out. These versions. Of
Yes,
now?
yes. You know, there was the brothers down in I want to say, I believe it was in New York. This was back in the day, probably like 90s, early 2000s maybe. I can't really remember, but there was a guy that pulled up in a limo and rolled his window down and yelled, you know, we spent billions of dollars to keep this information from y'all. How did y'all find out? You see what I'm saying? So this what we're doing. It's known at a high level, and they hate the fact that they see the men of the Lord being out here prophesying, speaking in the name of the Lord, you know, pretty much proclaiming his downfall on using his platform. They hate that. So it's going to come a time where they're going to shut this down, man. And you're not. It's not. Once again, it's not a coincidence. But the Lord sent you here for you to receive those names and receive what we're talking about for the sole purpose of your salvation. Now, what you do with it after this, it's all on you. You know what I mean? But now you're held accountable. Now you know. So, and that's scary too, though. It's scary to when you once again, like when I came into this and when I start uploading videos, it's like I made a blood covenant, not literal blood, but you know, I made a promise to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And when I start calling upon Him, you know, and if I were to, you know, go back into the world doing back what I used to do, oh man, He could put me to death, man, easy, and a painful death at that. You know, it says it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. You know, so you can't take this thing lightly, right? This is the book of Acts chapter 4 and verse 12. It says, neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. You know, so that name is powerful. No other name you can be saved with no other name other than Yahweh and Yahweh Shai.
Okay. I've got that message. I was shocked. I hear that. I hear you, brother.
You know, and it's not me speaking, man. This is you know, this is not me speaking. When we come out and we do these lessons and we do these teachings and stuff, it's the Lord's literally speaking through us. You know what I mean? So, you know, you were sent here for a reason, man. You know, the water Yahweh Shemashai, the water means, you know, thank you, you know, for sending you. You know, because we once again we come out here for brothers like you. You know what I mean?
Well, I appreciate everything.
Absolutely.
Not too hard. You got it.
Salak, man. I apologize, man. I apologize. But man,
Well,
hey,
God bless you. I'll be seeing you.
All right, man. Keep enduring, man. Remember those names. All right, Shalom. All right, that was beautiful, man. All right, had a sincere brother who came up. You know, he was inquiring. You know, and you know, you when he walked up, you could test. You know, you see his spirit. You know what I mean? He came up. I asked him if he had a question. He's like, no, I'm just listening. You know, so I gave him a thought-provoking question, you know, and once again, the Lord drew him in, man, you know, and he received a wealth of knowledge, you know, more knowledge that far surpasses any college degree or any college education, you know, any the names of the Lord is far more greater and more precious than riches and wealth. You know, he could, you know, you could be a millionaire, you could be a billionaire, you know, you could be a celebrity. It doesn't matter. If you don't have the names, you don't have this truth, hey man, you're considered nothing, man. You know, you considered nothing. But that was a beautiful encounter. I left them with the names of you know, Yahweh Shem Shai and the outcome of this kingdom, man. You know, and Lord willing, hey, if you know he be a you know, believer, man, that he repents, you know, and come back to the Lord, man. All right. So that was a wonderful encounter, man. So yeah, so hey, Lord willing, this camp session was edifying. All right. And with that, I want to close out by turning to the east and giving our honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessing, and salutation to the Akim that are pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in all truth and sincerity. All right, Lord willing, this reaches the ears of the hopeful elect. Okay? And, hey, we almost out of here, man. We almost out of here. All right? So with that, until next time, Shalom, DTA, Abba Ball. Shalom.